On May 4th, I got to spend the day with Lacee Black, this incredible artist who paints with paper. Now, if you're impressed with what she could do with only a couple of hours, you're going to be blown away by what she did when she had a lot more time.
So the biggest one I've ever done, it was a commission for, her name is Kathy Hill. She is the wife of Chris Hill, who was the athletic director for the University of Utah. He's retired now, and we talked about a lot of different ideas and what she might enjoy. And I said, you know, Kathy, you love New York. Let's maybe think about New York. So she said, okay. And so she had me pull up a bunch of pictures, and so I pitched them to her. And the one she picked was honestly probably the hardest one that she could have picked. But so it's the plaza across the street and in front of the Flatiron building in New York. And it's like someone just I think they're standing, but it just took a picture of the plaza at midday. So it's full of people walking, people sitting, people doing things. And you see a lot of lunches on the table, so we called it lunchtime. But I had to figure out, like, I had the photo reference, but it wasn't the best photo. So I had to do a lot of research looking at, like, I pulled up the Google Maps of the streets next to the Flatiron building, and then I typed in the street names and tried to find photographs of just the buildings on there so I could understand what I was looking at from the photo and try to represent them a little more clearly. And that is a lot of windows, a lot of math. I mean, and there's a lot of different buildings from different periods. And so trying to be able to get all of those things, at least an approximation or a rough thing showing that. But there are over 100 people in that. Her favorite thing, I said, hey, Kathy, what's your favorite part? And she says, the hot dog vendor, because that's so New York. But there's a hot dog vendor, and there's a lady next to him in his cart, and then you've got like some office people here having lunch, and I'm assuming this is a family with tourists and a bunch of dudes kind of sitting there, and one of the guys from the back of his head looked like my father-in-law. And so like making this, like I'm like making up stories about these different people. Like this person, they've had a really rough thing and they're exhausted from walking around the city, and they're just relaxing. And then the people in front, and he's relaxing, she's kind of relaxing, but he's stretched out on a chair and stuff. But then you have all the little shops in the bottom of this one building, and you have all of these fire escapes on the one side of the building, and there's a bus and there's a car and there's all the little pieces of greenery. I mean, you're doing perspective. So you have people, smallest people are probably this big, and the people in the front, the lady's head is this big. So, and all of that is layered. And I kind of, for a piece like that, you really have to work back to front, where you're working from that street and lower parts of the architecture, and then you can start layering in people going towards you, the viewer. And so I had to start with layering in the tiny people first, and then building on top of that, because a lot of them overlap. And that thing is like, I think it's 48 by 24 and a half inches.
How long did that take you?
355 hours. I am religious about keeping track of my time.
Wow.
Because that's one of the questions I get asked the most is, how long did this take you? Because people are like, you've got to be so patient. How long did it take you? I say, okay, well, I know the answer to that question.
To see more of her incredible work, check out her website at laceeblack.com or follow her on Instagram. Now, don't forget to go boldly into the great unknown.
Definitely.